The question then that was asked, why are we here? What is the meaning of these lives? This is an ancient question, of course. There is the line in the Old Testament that man is made in the image of God. One meaning we can derive from it is that we, as human beings, and the consciousness in us are the same as what we would call the universe and what we would call God, or the absolute consciousness or awareness of the universe, embracing the universe and comprising the universe. Not as an entity, not as a person, a man with a beard way out in space somewhere, but a conscious awareness, an all-embracing, absolute, infinite conscious awareness. That awareness stands in relation to what we know of as the universe in exactly the same way as our consciousness stands in relation to our body, which would include our mind. And that it is exactly the same phenomenon and the same relationship, but on different scales and in different dimensions. And in both cases, on both scales, in both dimensions, we can say that consciousness knows itself in relation to this visible manifestation. It knows itself in relation to that, but it also knows itself in relation to itself as itself. In our case, we could also say that, and this may be true on the scale of the universe or universes, but at least in our case, the consciousness inherent in us cannot come to know itself, to realize itself and actualize itself without the foil of the human body and the human mind, a contrast against which it can realize itself. And by virtue of our consciousness, or of this consciousness seeing the body and seeing the mind, and then realizing that it can see them, through that process, it can come to realize itself. This self-realization of consciousness can actualize due to this human body and human mind serving as a catalyst and as a conduit. And in this sense, our human body and the human mind, the human experience, the question was, why are we here? What is the meaning of these lives? This experience is sacred in the sense that it enables this self-realization of conscious awareness. It enables the actualization of this self-realization, this mystery of awareness. We fail to understand often just how mysterious this, what we call awareness, is. We take it so for granted. It's the most overlooked thing in our life, the mystery of this. Yes, animals are aware. Plants also seem to be sensitive, aware in the sense of being sensitive. But neither of those forms, neither the animal kingdom, nor the vegetable kingdom, nor the mineral kingdom, seem to be knowingly conscious of their own existence. They're responding, they're even seeing, as in the case of animals. But the degree of consciousness in them is not conscious of itself. This is what makes the human being so phenomenal, so sacred. seems probable there are other forms of life in the universe akin to, similar to human beings in some manner, or at least in the manner that those forms can serve also as a conduit against which and through which consciousness can realize itself. So the human being is essentially a seed planted, you could say, and it has this capacity to sprout awareness. But just as many seeds can be planted and not all of them sprout, not all seeds in the form of human beings are sprouting conscious awareness. Awareness is not consciously realizing itself and actualizing as itself. But this is the ultimate meaning of our lives. This is ultimately why we're here. Are there other reasons? It would seem so. We are part of this enormous engine, this enormous mechanism of not only the universe, but in particular of our solar system. Somehow we are part and parcel of the clockwork of the solar system, and human beings on the surface of the earth, according to the fourth way, serve as a very special type of receptacle, as a special type of receiver and transmitter of influences coming from not only the other planets in the solar system and not only from the sun, but from outside our solar system, from the galaxy, from perhaps the larger world of galaxies. And this consciousness in us would seem to come from beyond even that, beyond all those forms, all those manifestations, and all of their influences. It would seem to come from the absolute source of consciousness, of awareness in the vaster universe. And in this idea, man is made in God's image. What a powerful statement that is, that man is made in God's image personifies this truth, that this consciousness which can manifest as itself in us and realize itself, self-actualize, is very much a drop in the ocean of absolute consciousness. And of course, when it all is melded together, all those drops, you don't distinguish drops. When you go dive down into the ocean, you don't distinguish drops. Wherever you are in the ocean. And this is the nature of our consciousness. But we are so busy occupied with our body, our human body and our human mind and our activities and our survival and our false imagined sense of ourself, our reputation, our identity. This is veiling the larger reality of what we are at the core of our being, which is this absolute consciousness. It's simply in a different dimension on a different scale, but it is no different. It is no different from its source, its origin.